Listen, if you're a subscriber on my channel, you've heard me say over and over again that you're never really going to experience true financial freedom until you embrace business. And you know what? I read the comments. The whole reason why most people don't embrace business is because businesses fail left and right. The stats are not good. And I'm telling you right now that there's classical errors that most people make that keep them from winning in business. In fact, there are 5 of them. So I decided today I'm going to make a video for you. I'm going to teach you the 5 top reasons why businesses fail, and I'm going to show you how to avoid them.
One shot, not a future for sure. Let's go. I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, not a future for sure. Let's go.
Not gonna lie, I've got a lot of my fans that love it when I talk about real estate, and sometimes you get a little confused when I start talking about business. First of all, real estate is a business, but let me help you with one core key distinction and why we're talking so much about business. You see, there's 2 components to every business. There's an appreciation growth component, and there's a cash flow component. And real estate and traditional business are inverses of each other. So if you love the game of real estate, it means that you want to buy an asset that over time can grow massively in value and kick off some cash flow. But a business, it can also grow in value, but what it does is it kicks off a massive cash flow. If your interest, for example, in the game of real estate is because of the cash flow, trust me, you've got to get clued in to business because the cash flow can be 10 times, 100 times, or 10,000 times more potent. And with that, let's launch into the top 5 reasons why businesses fail, because if you can overcome them, what you can wind up with is a really hot, high cash flowing business. Now, for just a moment, I want you to imagine that a business is kind of like a ship, right? It's either cruising in the right direction or it's broken down. It might even be sinking. Check this out. We've got the engine room right in here. I want to show you these massive engines because if one of these engines goes down, just like a business in trouble, there's going to be no profit. Check it out. Oh my gosh, come here. Look at these incredible, massive engines, right? There's one on this side, there's one on that side. These engines doing their job is what it takes to get this boat where it's supposed to go. By the way, there's a permanent engineer on board with the second in command, so if something breaks, they know how to fix it. In business, you've got to be the engineer, captaining your ship to your financial future, and I'm going to teach you the 5 things that can go wrong in the engine room, because if you know how to repair them, you can have a profitable business. Not just $1,000 a week, not $10,000 a week. Imagine $100,000 a week. Imagine $1 million a week. I know what that's like. Trust me, it's worth understanding these 5 problems and their solutions. Ready? So I rented this private yacht for my family this week, but right now we're on this cute little dinghy. It's taking us ashore to the Galapagos here. We're on an island to go on a little nature walk, explore some of the endemic species. And I'm going to tell you right now that some of the businesses that you get involved with are big like that yacht over there, or big like some of these bigger boats out here, and some are cute and tiny. They're adorable like this cute little dinghy. There are businesses that are little side hustles that can make you, a few $1,000s a month or a week, and then there's really big successful businesses that can make you millions of dollars a month or millions of dollars a week. And whether you start with a really big business or a small business, really is just a matter of confidence. The 5 problems that lead to failure in business, it's always the exact same 5, whether it's a big business or a small business. I'm sharing that with you because I'm hoping that you're going to go for something a little bigger than smaller. Let's check out some of the stats for those that don't have school like you're getting with me on how to have a successful business. Data from the BLS shows that approximately 20% of new businesses fail during the first 2 years that they're open. 45% during the first 5 years, 65% fail in the first 10 years, but only 25% are still in business 15 years later. And on top of that, we're living in a post-pandemic world, and I'm saying go into business, especially when we're on the verge of a recession with 2 back-to-back down quarters in the US economy. And I'm telling you right now that we are in economic winter. This is the time when you want to go into business. It's because if you can figure out how to win and succeed in business, the world is yours, because as we move into spring, if you know how to survive in winter, you can crush it. That's why I'm making this video for you, because whether we are in spring, summer, fall, or economic winter, I'm going to tell you that all businesses face the same 5 problems. And if you have a solution to these 5, then guess what? you can crush it in any season. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you 10 of my favorite businesses that are crushing it during the recession. Let's go. The first reason why businesses struggle and sometimes fail altogether is because they failed to do market research. Market research means that instead of you thinking your business is a good idea, that there's a group of other people, a large enough group of people out there that also think that your business is a good idea. In 2013, Target famously launched in Canada without any market research and had to close all their stores in less than 2 years. Gathering data on cultural trends, economic habits, demographic data, customer feedback are crucial steps before launching a business. So it's one thing to know that you've got a business idea. It's another thing to really find out that other people want it. In a book that I wrote recently, Have It All, I talk about one of the top 5 strategies of getting the highest ROIs is owning a business. And in it, I say that once you've had an idea, unless you're going to be buying a franchise and, or buying someone's business, which is often a shortcut and the easier way to go, if you really have an idea that you want to start, I always recommend that you start with a 30-day experiment. It's 30 days to say, hey, I'm going to see what I can do in 30 days. And that's going to be the best indication on whether the market is really going to grab this or whether they're not. Because what you might find 30 days later is that your idea is good to you, but not necessarily good to others. This is one of the top reasons why companies fail, even large ones like Target. Oh my gosh, you know what's going on over there? It's not what it looks like. I think he's complaining about a really bad business plan. Listen, the second reason why businesses fail is because they don't have business plans. It's usually the lack thereof. If you're gonna start a business or if you're gonna buy a business, you gotta ask yourself, what is our plan on winning? What are the phases of winning? What should we do first? What should we do next? If you haven't taken the time to think about it, your business is going to sound a little bit like these two guys duking it out over here, which is kind of funny, to be honest. Really, if you want to be winning in business, you got to have a business plan. By the way, if you go to SBA.com or just Google, the SBA, this is the government supportive website that will actually give you an example of a business plan. They'll literally walk you through taking theirs and then customizing your own, and that's a great idea before you start your business. So some businesses literally just don't have enough money to succeed, and that's because they're capital intense. But I'm going to tell you right now, I like to avoid capital intense businesses. I prefer to find a business that can succeed on its own merits. And what I mean by that is a high margin business. If it brings in $1, maybe you get to keep 25 cents of that or 50 cents of that or more as a profit. There are some businesses, however, that are capital intense and they have small margins. And at the end of the day, you bring $1 in and you get to keep less than a dime. And I've just learned, don't be involved in businesses like that. There's weak margin businesses, there's strong margin businesses. And I think there's a link to the concept of capital. So yeah, capital is a reason why a lot of businesses fail. And I hope what you're learning is to pick the right business from the onset that has a lot more profitability naturally built into it, so it doesn't need as much capital. The fourth reason why businesses fail to do well and might go under is from bad marketing. As in, there's one thing every business needs to succeed. You need leads, you need prospects, you need people that can become clients. And so some businesses make it really, really rough to find a client base, and there are others where there's an abundance. And so one of the rules that you should look for in any business is this business easy to market or is it hard to market? Is it easy to find clients or is it hard to find clients? If it's hard to find clients, save yourself potentially years of smacking your forehead against a wall before you give up and maybe lose the business, and realize that a tough to market business might be the problem in the first place. Before I share with you the 5 things that you need to win in business, as well as one of my favorite businesses today that anyone can do literally working from home, let's talk about this. Have you ever met a prickly person, like someone that just kind of had a stubborn personality? That's what I think of when I think of cactuses. Countless examples of businesses like BlackBerry, Blockbuster, and AOL remind us how important it is to learn how to pivot and adjust to current trends. Don't be set in your own ways that your business isn't open to new models and revenue streams. Especially with going into a recession, the one thing that you need is adaptability, changeability. You have to resurvey the land and ask, What are the new problems that are being created in the world, and how does our company solve them? Because if you can, you're going to be the hero. And when you emerge out of the recession into springtime again, you get to emerge stronger, better, faster, probably healthier, probably more profits, probably positioned to crush it as you move into summer and fall all over again. No one wants a leaky boat, and no one wants a business with leakage. Let's talk now about the 5 things that you should be looking for in a business. And then let me share with you my favorite place to look where you're going to find them. Okay, number 1, does that business have a solid plan? I told you that you could go to the SBA's government site. You could learn how to do that, but when buying a business, it often comes with its business plan, so it's already been done. Also, do they know the market? Are you looking at buying a business or franchising or getting into a business where the market is unknown? Remember, when you start something from scratch, the risk is you're the pioneer. And if you're buying an existing business that has years of track record, now all of a sudden you have data points, you have knowns, so you don't have to wonder, how will we behave in this economy? How will we behave if we have a problem with the supply chain? Number 3, how do they spend their capital? You should look for a company that has plenty of capital left over, meaning lots of profits, where it could be reinvested, but there's also going to be a strong distribution. Number 4, are they willing to be flexible and pivot? Looking for a company that is built on a culture of being nimble, flexible, is not only a good way to be as a human being, but it's almost a requirement in today's very, very fast-paced, business-moving world. Number 5, is the company utilizing all of its resources or only some of its resources? Meaning, have they gotten into the game of optimization, or are they trying to establish core products and profits from doing new things? Right now, I love a business that needs optimization. That means doing what it's doing even better. 10% better here, 3% better there, 5% better there. Can be 50% growth or 100% growth over the course of the year. So you're looking for a business that has all 5 of these. Now you might be asking yourself, where do you look to find such a business? Some businesses take money to get started. So let me share with you 3 different levels at which companies can take on capital. The beginning is when it's a brand new company and it's just starting with an idea and it really doesn't have a track record, and it's looking for angel investors. And angel investors are like a friends and family group of people that say, well, I know this person, I think they have an exciting business, I'll throw a small amount of money at them and I hope it goes somewhere. These people are taking on the greatest risk, but usually they also come out of it with the greatest reward. Most professional investors would say, whoa, I'm not willing to invest in something that doesn't have a track record. So next they look at something that says, hey, we've been around for a couple of years, we've established ourselves, we have a track record, we have profits, we're scaling. That's when venture capital, this is a new group of money, might come in and say, well, we now want to throw in $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million here, and you can get millions of dollars on that kind of fund. Lastly, once a company has established itself, they look like they could become the industry leader, they just need tens of millions of dollars. That's when private equity comes in. This is where they're taking on the least risk because you have the most track record, but they also have the least to gain. And you have to ask yourself, what is your risk tolerance at? Do you want to be like the investors that invest in a small company with no track record, a company with a little track record, or a company with a lot of track record? Well, if you wait for a company to have a lot of track record, there's not going to be a lot of upside. But if you also invest in the guy that has no track record, like there's a high probability that that business is not going to exist 24 months from now and your entire investment's going to be lost. What should you do? All of that was shared as an analogy because this video isn't about how do you find a business like that and put some money into it. This is about how do you actually have a successful business that you own and operate. And from that analogy, I hope what you're getting is if you start something from scratch, you're taking on the most risk. And if you buy a company with a massive track record, you're going to be paying a premium. There's a sweet spot right in the middle. And that sweet spot for me is what I call a franchise. This is a company that's had time to mature, develop itself, create profits. And they said, you know what? We've got it so figured out. We should stamp this out everywhere. And we should give a majority of the profit to whoever's going to take our proven business model and run with it. Well, I love franchises because I love that someone else has taken on the initial risk, and whereas most have failed, they still exist, their profits are high, their margins are solid, it makes a lot of sense. Did you know that some of the wealthiest people I know simply own lots of franchises? They didn't even start them. They literally identify from all of the companies in the marketplace the ones that have the highest profits, and then they buy them. And this is something that I do. So if you want to know some of the franchises that I think are going to perform hottest in the economy that we're in right now, click the link below and actually discover what some of them are. In fact, there's 10 different core companies that have major upside where you can get a majority of the profits to you just for owning it. And the best part about it is you don't have to operate it. These are businesses that all have the potential for you to obtain what's called absentee owner status. This means that you own a company. It doesn't have the 5 core problems that this video is all about. It does have the 5 solutions that I told you to look for. All of these businesses possess them, and someone else has already paid the price, and it's basically an opportunity for you to come in and pick the ones that make the most sense with you. Having one of those businesses can produce literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So if you want to know how to regain next level financial freedom, if you own a business and want to own more businesses, or if you're just getting started for the first time, this is one of the most intelligent ways that you can get started. Click the link below, fill out the information, request information on some of the top franchises that I believe in. We'll get them sent your way with the free consultation, and we'll see if we can make some magic happen. I see you later. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be back because I got a traveling rule. I gotta see everything once before I'll see anything ever again. And that way I hopefully get to work my way around the world multiple times, seeing some of the most amazing things out there. By the way, what financially makes this world travel possible for me is owning several businesses that are hugely profitable regardless of the state of the economy. So if you want to know what some of those are, click the link below. More importantly, the internet thinks that really what you need to watch next from me is right here in this video. I don't know what it is, but it's been tracking you. It kind of knows what you like. So click that link. I'll see you on the next video. See you there.